Recorded.
All right, I'm calling the meeting of the Board of Water Wastewater Commissioners meeting for Thursday, November 5th, 2020 for 3 p.m. to order. I'd like to take a roll call for the Water Commissioners that are here. Alan Thompson.
Well, it says he's offline.
Okay. How about Judith?
I'm here, and if things go funky, I'm just going to turn off my video feed, so at least you'll have my voice.
Okay.
Whoops.
Okay, we lost Alan.
Oh, he just called me. Bear with me one moment.
Yep.
So I just manually pushed him out, and he's going to try to click the link and get back in.
Okay.
I'm going to try to give him a ring.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you all hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, good. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, Alan, we were taking a roll call of attendance. We have Judith, myself, and you.
Here.
Okay. At this time, I'll look for a motion for the consent agenda for the minutes of October 16th and October 27th.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? I'll take a vote by roll call. Alan?
Aye.
Judith?
Aye.
So an aye for myself. Thank you. All right, let's move on to abatements. 79 Gray Neck Road.
So I don't know if we want to see, there is 7 attendees on the call. I don't know if one of the, I have one unnamed caller 1.
Okay.
The applicant for the abatement. Okay, he's trying to call in now.
Okay.
Okay. I believe he is attempting to call in right now. All right. Well, Ellen wasn't the only one with connectivity issues today. All right.
Do we have caller 1, Dan? Or are they still trying?
I still only have 7 attendees. Oh. Yeah, I don't have anyone new on the line.
All right.
Oh, is caller 1 there?
They're not speaking.
Can they hear us?
Let's see. Judith, are you connected with phone and tablet?
No.
Okay.
I
Still
muted
7. I don't know
myself.
if we want
Do
to
you know
wait
what?
or
Do you know what the directions are for somebody who's calling in to unmute themselves, Dan?
star
On a
6.
on a phone?
Star 6 is
6?
unmute. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe they're muted.
So if anyone is on the phone dialed into the meeting, if you press star 6, it will unmute.
Hello? Anybody there?
I'm still not seeing anything on my end.
All I'm seeing is a caller 1. That's all I can see.
Oh, I got a caller 2.
Caller.
Oh, caller 2. Yep.
So if you're on the line, it is star 6 to unmute.
So it seems as though we have 2 callers on the meeting, caller 1 and caller 2. If you would like to speak, you have to hit star 6 to unmute your phone. We cannot hear you. All right, Dan, I'm going to move ahead with the abatement and try back with the callers after we go through this a little bit. I read the reason for the abatement. I'm going to ask Wellesley if she can just go through this one more time. I had a little bit of a hard time reading the handwriting, but it seems as though there was a water leak detected on the evening of September 3rd. A call was made to the water department about 9:30, a tech went out, and it looks like we did shut the water off. And we notified the homeowner of a $150 service charge. And then on September 4th, they contacted their plumber. He was unavailable. And then another plumber went out on the 5th. And I can't read, I'm having a hard time reading the last couple of lines about the charges that were added to the bill. It was a $150 service charge. The water bill was $529.98, includes the $150, and a $35 or $39 base rate, and usage was $344.98, and they're requesting a $344.98 abatement for usage. Wellesley, can you just, if there's anything else to add to that?
That's pretty much the gist of it. I don't know if Wellesley's got a mic on, but ultimately we did go out, we did shut the water off, which was the $150 charge. It appears as though they are requesting the usage be abated and pay only the $35 base fee and the $150 shut-off charge.
So what they're looking for is the $344.98. They're looking for an abatement for the water that was leaked.
That would encompass all usage. Their request.
Okay. All right. Alan, do you have any comments or questions?
No, I'm going to move to deny.
Okay, Judith, do you have any comments or questions?
Was there something extenuating that I'm not understanding? Some extenuating circumstances of some kind? Or
So just, Gary, I do see caller 2 and a caller 3. I'm not sure if one of those was Wellesley trying to get in.
Okay.
If the applicant for the abatement is on, if they would like to provide insight.
Again, it's *6 to unmute your phone.
Hi, Dan. I think I'm caller 3.
Yep. Okay, that is, yes, you are caller 3.
Mr. Chairman, I just think that we had the opportunity to get rid of the meter pit and have more control over the whole thing, and they passed on that. And then they have a problem. I mean, Great Neck Road, I'm not sure where the house is or anything, but a lot of those houses been there a long time and probably didn't have foundations in those early days. And I would think it would have made sense to upgrade all of that and have some control over all of this stuff. But
Okay.
just because you have a leak, now you want to write it all off. I
understand. I agree. Wellesley, do you have anything you want to add to the abatement? Or it's pretty much
Other
just-
than, a payment plan has been requested and put together, so that is where it stands at the moment.
no.
A payment plan for the $529.98?
Yes, for the bill amount. No, with the he's already paid the $150 call-out fee, and the remainder is for just the October water bill.
Okay, great. All right, so there's a motion to deny. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
No, okay, in the motion.
What was that, Alan?
Okay, a payment plan in the motion.
Okay. There's the motion. We have a second. I'll take a vote by roll call. Alan?
Aye?
Judith?
Aye.
That's an aye for myself. All right, thank you. All right, Dan, we're going to move on to old unfinished business, the wastewater rules and regs. I believe you had the opportunity to talk with myself, Alan, and Judith over the last week or so. Can you just review the items we brought up?
Yeah, and so absolutely. And just to preface that with, as you all read and noted, there's several references within the document to the town of Chatham that really should be to the town of Harwich. That's a product of that. These were Chatham's regulations provided to Harwich to be used as a draft in developing ours. So just the caveat as we go through, I'm going to skip over those on an individual basis because they're going to all be corrected in one fell swoop, if you will. To jump right in, the first topic of discussion was page 14, which is Article 4, use of the public sewers. So page 14, section 7, there was clarification requested on subparagraph 2, which is in reference to refilling the grease traps when they are pumped out. So the regulation states that grease traps should be pumped out and refilled with water from the water pollution control facility. So just to jump into the reasoning and purpose behind that. So the grease traps are refilled for properties that are entering the sewer collection system. What they do is they refill it with the water so that when new fats, oils, and greases enter the grease trap, they don't have an opportunity to then leave the grease trap through the exit T as it fills up, then introducing grease, fat, and oils into the sewer collection system. So this is a mechanism to further protect the downstream collection system. Moving forward, the next item was on page 17. It was Article 9, collection of sewer and service charges. So Article 9 is in reference to, how we're going to bill for sewer bills. The description they have here in the regulations as they're presently written indicate that there is to be demand notices and interest charges, and really a very different process than how we currently bill here at the water department. That being said, it would be my recommendation that through this revision process, we unify the sewer collection of sewer service and charges to the way that we bill and handle our water billing. As you guys are well aware, we have a very, very good track record of collections. The process has been vetted over a long period of time here, and I think that we should be billing sewer and water in the same capacity. One big change from what's presently written is in Harwich, if a bill goes unpaid when we issue the demand, we issue a late fee of $25. What the current regulations state in Chatham is that a demand charge as well as interest would be applied. In the case of the water department, that's different in that we bill the original bill, we'll bill the demand fee, and interest doesn't get applied in Harwich until it goes over for lien with the assessors and tax collector's office. So that would be, I guess, my recommendation on Article 9. Again, on page 17, Article 10, grievance and variance procedure. So it was just some general discussion I had with regard to this and exactly what the purpose and intent of inserting it into the regulations was. Trying to gather from the context, it appears this is the mechanism for any user of the collection system to apply for a variance against the regulations in the document. I do have a call into Bob Duncanson over in Chatham to get additional clarification on what they wrote this component around and what they intended to hear through this process. I haven't had an opportunity to connect with him yet. So that's still in discussion. Next is on page 22 of Appendix A. Appendix A is let me just jump down here. The design of sewers component. So on page 22, you'll see reference to licensed utility installers and the process for which they have to go through to become a utility installer and how they apply to install the septic service and things like that. There's a considerable amount of gender-specific references within those sections referring to, he or him, so one of the considerations is removing the gender-specific references. They're really not needed, and they're not needed. Next one is page 23, section 12, which is the section that refers to the submission of as-built drawings to the department after construction is completed. One request that I would make as superintendent for that regulation is that we also include and request the submission of the CAD file along with the paper copies. Right now, it just states that contractors are to submit a 1:20 scale as-built drawing. While that's good for paper and to have as a quick reference, CAD file gives us more usability. We can then bring the CAD file in and convert the lines and whatnot to the GIS system so that we can map everything a lot easier. So that's one request that I would ask for inclusion. Next one, page 32 in the appendix refers to testing. There's a reference to, I believe it's Article 5. It's a broken reference. The reference is actually to Appendix B, sections, I believe, 16 and 17. So that was one thing that was discovered. And then the last component is on page 34 with respect to flood protection. There's items in there relative to the rim of the sewer manhole covers being 1 foot above the 100-year flood plain. one of the things I want to do just to further that discussion is get a map of Harwich and delineate areas where the elevation of the 100-foot floodplain is. But that's more for graphical purposes, if you will. But those are really the sum of the conversations I've had over the last 2 weeks with the three of you independently. Gary, you might be muted.
Yes, I am, Dan. Can you read my lips? Any discussion or comments regarding what Dan just went over, or something he did not go over?
Could you go back to section 9 again?
Yes, is that with regard to the grease trap?
No, this was, wait a minute. Had to do to eliminate something. This one, a licensed utility installer. And I kind of missed what they didn't need in there. Installer requests requirements. Requirements being an installer. Training, grinder pumps, filing fees. Is it the bond or what did you comment on 9, section 9?
The grease traps.
Article 9, collection of sewer and service charges.
Oh, wait a minute. What section is that? What section?
Article 9, collection of sewer and service charges. That's with respect to the sewer billing. For the licensed utility installers, let me see here. So you have a question regarding the licensed utility installers?
Well, I think my original question was who's keeping track of all of that, and
yeah. So
how does it work? Yeah, how does it work out? I'll expire in December. Is that a norm?
What about December?
Well, the licenses expire on midnight December 31st each year.
Right, right.
That's a state requirement?
No, so the licensed utility installer is a local licensing, it's a local license. So it would be similar. What was that?
The town or the water sewer does that?
So right now we have a list of septic installers that's managed and overseen by the Board of Health or Health Department. In conversations with Megan and the Health Department, the thought initially is to grandfather the septic installers to the licensed utility installers list. The license is issued by the town annually, or at least in Chatham's regulations. We have our own licensing that's done through the Board of Health. So we would be, is the question as to who maintains the list?
No, I was thinking the Board of Health was handling that whole thing. Maintain the list and, advise us if somebody's off or somebody has a problem. And I would like to think.
Right. And right now in Harwich specifically, right? So in order to become a licensed septic installer in town, you have to, prove that you have the insurance, the bond, as well as you have to take I believe, a practical exam at the health department.
Okay.
So it would be a similar process for licensed utility installer, where all of our current members have taken that exam and produced that information. That's why the grandfathering concept was brought in.
All right, I'm good. All right.
All right. Judith, anything else?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you, Dan. Thanks for your explanations.
And my thought now with, I guess on next step forward would be to, I know Joe Powers, the interim town administrator, had mentioned to the selectmen that he would be preparing a revised draft, if you will, of these regulations, including all of the various discussions that have taken place, like the 1 to 2 year extension, formally incorporating the land use controls and things like that. So I think at this point it would make sense if I work with him to produce a track changes Word document that incorporates all the discussions that we've had and clean up the broken Chatham references and then bring that back to you folks to then really have a complete draft document in front of you.
Okay.
That sounds good. That sounds good, Dan. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to new business. FY21 water liens. Looks like we have an amount of $31,955.80.
Yes, and that is a not to exceed amount. Water bills are due next week. So once after the collection of water bills, this will likely reduce and then would be then put forward for lien.
All right. So I need a motion to approve the water lien.
One question. How old are these liens, some of them?
So these balances are all over 1 year old with no payment plan.
Ah. Okay, all right. So I move to approve.
Is there a second?
And can I ask a quick question?
Yep.
Just since the pandemic is ongoing, is this anything to do with that?
No, because these balances are all over 1 year. So predating pandemic. And they're, a lot
No,
of
but
them
I mean,
a lot of them are repeat
can we move?
offenders as well.
Okay. I'm just saying, is anything, I guess my question is, currently, is anything in place from the governor that restricts us from acting on something irregardless of whether it's now or a year ago, because some of it would be from now, if you follow my question?
Yeah, I don't believe so. And I think that when the provision was used to extend the due date and all of those things, what we cannot do is turn water off. Right?
Okay.
So the water's not going to be turned off. We're not allowed to turn it off during the emergency
Just a lien.
declaration.
Okay. All right. That was my question. Sorry. It was roundabout.
That's all right.
Thanks, Tim.
We have a motion to approve the amount to not exceed
I'll second.
$31,955.80.
And I'll second
Is
that.
there a second? Okay, I'll take a vote by roll call. Alan?
Aye.
Judith?
Aye.
That's an aye for myself. Thank you. All right, Dan, FY22 water budget.
So included in the packet is the budget message from the Board of Selectmen. A couple of the key takeaways are that the selectmen are requiring a budget that is at most 2% higher than FY21, but also looking for the departments to start and develop an initial budget that is level funded from FY21. So I spoke with Sandy today. What we would intend on doing is preparing, two budgets. Our initial, which will be a level funded budget we'll have to account for any contractual increases or increases for fuel, water treatment chemicals, electric usage, things like that. And then whatever additions those add, we'll have to then subtract in elsewhere in the budget. And then from there, we would also be looking at including those increases and maintaining services. If you look also in the packet, just behind the budget message, the budget deadline is December 4th. So we have about a month between this meeting and the budget submission to go over all of everything for FY22. So there's a couple of tentative meeting dates proposed there. If we can discuss later about next tentative meetings, but that would be the first introduction here, and I guess look for your comments and direction.
Well, could you put the budget together, send it out to us ahead of time, and we'll meet on the 19th to finalize?
Absolutely. So it'll be my plan to get both versions, a level funded as well as a budget reflecting increases and for discussion. And like we did with the regulations on the 19th, if that's the board's choice, we could go through, the workshop, budget workshop at that point would be well ahead of our December submission date.
That works for me, Dan. Thank you.
Good.
Okay, any other questions or comments regarding the FY22 water budget? All right. And then we have the Pleasant Lake Ave tank update.
So we are deep into the engineering now with the Pleasant Lake tank. And I want to preface the conversation with, if you recall, we appropriated money for the tank project well over a year ago, well in advance of COVID. Having said that, it appears now at this point as though the original $300,000 that was appropriated is going to be insufficient to do both the interior upgrade work as well as the exterior upgrade work. So at this point, working with the engineering firm, GHD, to structure the procurement in a way that will allow us to maximize the money that we've appropriated. And then I would offer following suggestion on how to wrap everything else up. So we have $300,000 appropriated. What I would recommend we do is put out the bid with a base bid for the interior work, which is, the cutting out and bringing that riser pipe in from the base all the way up to the top of the tank, the new valving and repair work associated with that. The bid alternate 1 would include just running the pipe, 24-inch pipe from the exterior wall of the tank over to the connection, excluding cleanup and other kind of ancillary things, repairing the fence, gravel roadway. And then bid alternate 3 would be the ancillary cleanup work associated with the project. Thought process being, if we have enough money to do the interior work and at least run the pipe, we can use our crew to, do the site restoration. If we find ourselves in a position where we can only afford to do the interior work, I have sat down with Steve. We've had a couple of discussions about it. We're both confident that our crew has the skill set to do it. However, right now our schedule puts us out beyond our ability to do it this fall or winter. So the last component would be having the interior work done. We would then turn the tank back online for next summer And then next fall, we could complete the exterior work with our crew.
Sounds like a plan to me.
And you feel that the department's capable of doing that type of work in?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little bit bigger pipe, 24-inch pipes. It's not anything that we can't do. I have personally laid 24-inch ductile iron pipe. I know we have other guys on staff as well who have. We would have to rent equipment. Obviously our small excavators aren't going to be big enough to do that, but the run from the water main where we're making the interconnection to the tank is only like 320 feet, which is really like 7 sticks of pipe, so we're really not 14 sticks, sorry. We're really not, it's not an incredible pipe run to install. So yes, I'm confident we could do it.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, I think it's a great plan, and it'll be interesting to see what the cost will be in the bid situation or the addendums to it, and go from there.
And right now we're looking at a tentative bid date or advertising on the street so the central register is the place that all public procurement projects are posted. That comes out once a week on Wednesdays, and we have to advertise in the central register for 2 weeks. So the tentative advertisement date right now is November 18th. So it would be in November 18th, November 25th, and then we would be holding a bid opening likely the first week of December for the construction to start after that.
Okay. Judith, any questions?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Thank you, Dan. Let's move on to superintendent's report.
Let me see. I didn't prepare anything formal for the superintendent's report. The update, really was the P Lake tank update was the big one I wanted to get across today.
Okay. All right. Commissioner's report, Alan?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just be looking forward to this upcoming information.
Okay. Judith?
Same for me.
Okay. Dan, 2 things. The Harwich Land Trust, the letter of support, did that go out?
Yes.
And where are we at with the water fountains?
That has also been submitted. So fountains application has been submitted. It was submitted Friday before Halloween.
Okay, great.
So now that application resides with CPC through their evaluation process, and I expect if they have questions, they would be reaching out to the applicant, who would then follow up with us if there's any additional.
Okay, great. So then it looks like our next meeting date will be on November 19th at 1 p.m. Does that still work for everybody?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
Judith?
You might be muted, Judith.
Yeah, I can't hear you, Judith.
Sorry. The housing trust, the Affordable Housing Trust is meeting at 1 on the 19th.
Okay. I'm on vacation that week, so if you want to do earlier, that's fine with me.
Earlier in the day or earlier in the week?
Either or. Like I said, I'm on my vacation, so if you want to do the 19th and do it earlier or whatever.
Yeah, I'm good earlier. Alan, does that work for you?
What time?
It doesn't matter to me. You guys tell me.
10?
You want to sleep in on your vacation, or are you like?
No, I'll be
Morning
out
person.
and about. Hopefully I'll be somewhere.
Okay. Okay. And
As far as
Alan,
I'm
you
concerned,
choose.
the earlier the better for me, so
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock works.
I'm
Great.
assuming 8 a.m., Alan.
That's correct.
Okay, done. All right, sounds good.
And do we want to pencil in something for the first week of December as well, so that we can have something on the books prior to the budget submission, just in case we need to come back?
Yep. Sure.
Let's see. Well, Thursday the 12/3.
Yeah.
Does that work?
What was the date again?
The budget's due in on the 12/4. So if we meet the Thursday before 12/3, which is the
Okay.
That's fine. What time you want to do? 1 o'clock?
Is that good?
Sure. Do you want to do 1
Works
o'clock?
for me.
Okay.
Sure. Thursday the 3rd at 1,
Okay,
right?
great.
All right.
What does that say? News. 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Nope, that's not right. Why does that say that? What does it say? All right, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chairman, so moved.
And
there a
I'll
second?
second that.
All right,
Second.
I'll take a vote by roll call. Alan,
Aye.
Judith,
Aye.
and it's an aye for myself. Thank you very much. You guys have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
This conference is no longer being recorded.